Well, hello, and welcome again to the No Lids, No Limits podcast with Kin and Arek. My name is Arek. I've been 20 years in the electronics industry, working for some different distributors, EMSs. And yeah, I'm on this wonderful journey of a consultant together with my good friend Kin.
Hi, Arek. Happy to be here again. And I understand this is our Christmas episode. How exciting that is. How are you doing? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. I'm Kin. I'm from Canada and working in manufacturing for over 30 years and happy to share my passion about all the things relating to manufacturing. So, what is this about our Christmas episode that we want to talk about, Arek?
Oh yeah, my friend. We did a couple of episodes now on the ERP system, and I think we're gonna stay in the kind of spirit of the software that are aligning and working together on the EMS industries. And we're gonna continue. I believe the quoting tools are the next one that we have on the agenda. But again, we're going into Christmas period now, almost the New Year. So we wanted to do something special talking about Christmas and what do we like about it in the business world. So my first question, Ken, is what is on your wish list? What do you want to see under the tree from the business perspective?
There has been just so much excitement this year in 2025. Thinking back about all the exciting things that we've seen in the development, especially in AI. We've already talked a little bit about that in our past episodes. I think when it comes to manufacturing, this is something that still excites me. The opportunities looking forward about what AI is going to bring for us in 2026. Recently, we have heard some media news talking about this AI bubble is about to burst.
Mm-hmm.
In our episodes, we did touch on this one topic as well. From my perspective, I've recently thinking back about the whole .com bubble. Do you remember that back in around early 2000s? And the .com bubble was a lot like the AI bubble. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of noise. No one really knows what the .com was going to bring. Remember Yahoo.com? Remember those days? Netvigator, MSN. The whole .com thing was a bubble because people finally figured out that you need a brick and mortar business to support your .com. You can't just have a website and start making money. Your company, how fancy the website is, you have to have something substantiated behind there. And I think this is the very same perspective I take when it comes to the whole AI bubble. Anyone can come up with a large language model or run an AI model of some sort and do something. But it really comes back to manufacturing processes and your way of running a manufacturing operation, no matter what tool you bring in. And AI, to me, kind of like the website was back in 2000. Nobody cared about what a website was in the early 2000s when we had the whole .com thing. But every company jumped on the website bandwagon, the whole .com bandwagon. And I think right now the AI is very much in that same realm. Is that it's a great tool. We've seen some of the great things it can do for us. But that's just it. It doesn't replace your people. It doesn't replace your creativity. It doesn't replace your innovation that your manufacturing team is bringing to the table. So I'm just excited to see how some of those tools will get refined. Just like sort of the mid 2000s when the whole .com website really started to find its track and really propel the whole business aspect forward. I mean, where would we be today without an Amazon, or where will we be today without a Google? These are the things that are going to really excite me. We're going to see some of that, I think, hopefully in 2026. That's my Christmas wish. What
That's
about
your
you?
Christmas. Yeah, well, speaking a little bit about yours still, your knowledge and your passion is extensive, but I do disagree with you a little bit on this because if I'm looking at the bubble burst on the .com, but still everybody has a website now, so there was still a need and we're still there. And in terms of AI, yes, it will not replace you, it will not switches you completely out, but it will upscale your creativity. It's just for us to really learn how do we utilize it. With a website in the 2000s, you could have a website and so what? I have a website, but if I don't know how to market the website, then there is no need. And the same with AI, I believe the more people start using the tool and learning how to really work with the tool, you will upscale your creativity, productivity, and more. So I fully believe this is something staying with us and it will change our living structure and our approach completely. And also as from the business perspective, it will really be the next big thing that it's gonna ramp up all of the ideas that we have. We just need to start digging into this more as the product is getting better and better. When you said what's on my Christmas wish list, my wish is a little bit more personal. I want to go back to my ratio of busyness versus productivity, because the question is, are you solving problems? Are you able to work them out? My big thing, my wish, my dream for 2026, and also the Christmas tree that I find this present for me, is really go back on the productivity versus being busy. But how about you? What is something personal you wanna get from your business life in 2026?
Yeah, well, you touch on productivity, and that's certainly something that, as a Canadian, we've been really talking a lot about that recently. I've been doing some work with our local university here on understanding how to become more productive. The trade war that's been brought on by the U.S. and China has really affected the way Canadian companies do business. And one of the things that everybody agrees in Canada as a country, we need to look at how to increase our productivity, how to produce more so that we don't have to rely on other countries and our big brothers down south. But what does that really mean? Productivity. I mean, we all understand the definition of productivity is to do more with less. But what does that really mean when it comes to manufacturing? Does it mean that, okay, instead of making a million of something, we're going to make 100 million of something with the same factory? But that alone isn't going to cut it. I mean, there's a whole lot of economic factors in play. As a Canadian, we've always been at a disadvantage because we have a country with huge amount of land, but not enough people in it to do things. But another bigger challenge there is just the whole aspect of having enough expertise, whether it be in engineering or in trades. There's just not enough people to do all the things that we want to do. And worse yet is there's not enough money for us to do that as well. So we're kind of squeezed in many areas. Going through some of the craziness in 2025, seeing some businesses lay off a lot of people, we hiring some of those people, thinking about how to replace the people with AIs. We also talk a little bit about that. 2026 hopefully is going to become a little bit more stable, where we're really going to focus as humankind to really push forward and do better. And as you said, leverage the AIs to become more productive and to do better. Where with the trillions of dollars being invested into AI models, really going to make enough of a difference for us to make many more trillions of dollars in return. That's really kind of where the people arguing that this is an AI bubble comes from, because we know even from companies like Nvidia that um, the current growth path isn't sustainable. We're going to run out of energy, let alone money, before we're going to really build an AI that's good enough to truly replace us as a general intelligence. In some of the applications that we looked at, AI can actually really make a difference when it comes to the lean thinking, to reduce that waste. Rather than spending hours and hours, for example, recording this podcast, we can do it in a relatively quick time frame using these AI tools. So, as you know, I'm a pickleball fanatic. Using AI to help us learn and become better at any sport, that's a great application that is heavily explored by, I know, by a lot of people right now. I'm quite excited about some of those things, and I hope that we're going to see some better tools, which are the application. We saw with the whole .com shift, rather than just coming out and say, "Oh, I have a great website." But if your website isn't really delivering value, it wasn't a good website. So this is the same aspect with AI. If the AI isn't delivering value to whatever you're doing, it's not truly great. But imagine if the AI, like Riverside that we use here, it's tailored specifically to solve a problem for podcast recording. That is a really good example of where an application level solution delivers huge value to what you're trying to do. In manufacturing, we talk about, the whole quotation side of doing faster quotations, not necessarily better quotations. I'm quite excited that we're going to be talking with new guests at in our next episode about that exact topic.
This year has been really a truly roller coaster ride for me, an exciting one, because it led me to meet some of the great people. You're one of that, so I'm grateful for that. God only knows where it will take me next year. But something that I have seen along the way right now is the business that I see in Europe. We are so much focused on making the right decision that we take a lot of time and sniffing and watching and turning instead of just making the decision right. So, I see a lot of businesses, they are like, no, we are afraid, we have to look. And then you schedule a meeting to have another meeting to talk about this. Why don't we start just making some of those decisions and trying to make them as right as possibly we can? And even if we're going to take a bad route, we're still gonna go with that. The fantastic quote that I heard last week was, "I am capable of admitting to failures, but I am not willing to make regrets. Like you didn't take the road. I'm gonna fail, okay, but at least I tried it. I can move forward." So that's something that I also wish for next year for the business. What are the tools? What is the way that can help some of the EMSs to move forward quicker and maybe decrease the level of uncertainty that they have? And
The EMS business heavily rests on the overall economics around the world. When the economic condition is doing great, when everyone is pouring money into the stock market, into companies, into new innovation, new products, that drives the EMS business to build more things, which is great because then there's more innovation and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's been a roller coaster ride for sure. The stock market goes up, it comes back down, it goes back up.
Mhm, mhm,
Cryptocurrency is now being questioned as being whether it's actually even doing anything anymore. 2025 was certainly a year of a lot of uncertainty for businesses. And that no doubt, puts a lot of business into more of a bearish mode where they just want to sit and wait. I know you're often working with these clients in the front line, and it does get frustrating. What we really need is to have more stability as the economics goes, so that companies all through the entire sales chain will be willing to take that chance, take that risk, and do rather than wait. In lean manufacturing, we hear this term called PDCA: plan, do, check, act. There's a lot of plan happening, but not a lot of doing. And until you do it, you can't check and change and improve. And
mhm.
I think companies have been stuck in the planning part in 2025. I hope a lot of that is just going to unstick and move forward. I'm excited about 2026 and what's coming around because I think with the AI tools that we talk about, with a lot of the robotics that's innovation that we've been seeing now, it's going to be pretty exciting. I'm bullish when it comes to the whole application of innovative robotics in EMS. As EMS, as we need to have the most flexible tools that are available because we want to tackle the next problem that comes around the corner. And that problem is always going to be something that we might not have done before. With all the equipment and automation and everything available today, like the pick and place machines, reflow soldering machines, selective wave soldering machines, all those equipment is pretty good at making boards. But when it comes to that next level, we still rely heavily on humans to assemble things, especially at the box level, and do testing and do troubleshooting. This is where some of the AI tools that we'll see some good applications in that realm. But the robotics is going to really help, assemble things that take a lot of humans and or what we think of as hard automation. So expensive robots that take a huge amount of time to set up, to more of like the humanoid robots that run on generative AI. So you can just ask the robot, go and put those screws in, go and move this box over and put the lid on there or something like that. So that is something maybe if not 2026, hopefully within the next 2 to 3 years. But we're definitely on a path to smarter robotics. Have you worked with any of those?
Yeah, no, I didn't. We have a fantastic company in Poland around Wrocław with the humanoid robot, but the one that impressed me the most was the Xpeng one, where the CEO actually had to cut the robot to prove that it's not a human. I mean, this is amazing technology. Maybe 2, 3 years, up to five, then there will be around us, among us, and we'll be working hand in hand. I'm sure about it.
One of the things that we talked about in one of the earlier episodes was this
Mhm.
idea of HI, human intelligence. I want to just bring back and ground us to all the new tools and applications in AI that's going to be created, whether it's now here with the latest Gemini or ChatGPT tools, or it's something that's just around the corner for us in the new years. I'm very excited to see how AI is actually going to help improve the human intelligence. That to me is going to be something that's really important because there's a balance between AI, and artificial intelligence, and HI, human intelligence. And maybe we didn't really bring this out in our episode earlier on, is we're using human intelligence right now to build AI, doing a lot of training on these generative models. But with the advent of better AI and applications, it's just going to improve human intelligence. So
Mhm.
it's going to be this constant revolving evolution of making us better overall. And I'm very excited about that.
I think it relates to the infinity sign that you made in one of the other episodes, and it will just kind of come back. The AI model will improve. We will improve with it. Therefore, AI model will improve, and so on, so on, so on. Yeah. So it's looking fabulous, my friend. So hopefully, we'll be all smiling and all happy next year as well. And with that, there's nothing add more to add from my side other than really can thank you so much for this year. Thank you for starting this journey together. I hope audience will be growing with us and more topics will be delivered from them, and we'll be happy to fulfill those. Merry
Thank you, Arek.
Christmas.
And it's been a very fun journey to spend this podcast with you in 2025. I'm looking forward to a lot more great topics with
Yes.
you and with our new guests and other audience people. As always, please drop us a comment, give us feedback of what you think about what we're talking about or any questions you may have. We're happy to tackle anything here on No Limits. So thank you very
Exactly.
much.
No limits, no limits. So bring us the topics. Thank you guys. And again, Kin, thank you so much. Till next time. Bye bye.
See you next time. Bye bye.